Hey.
Well, hello. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
We'll introduce you, but I want to say hi to everybody and welcome to Mystical Awakenings with Deb and Arjay. And tonight, Mary Bassett, the one and only Mama Mary, right here on KGRA. And we're thrilled to be here talking about what we're all going to be talking about tonight.
That's absolutely right. So, for those of you who do not know Mama Mary, she does regression work for MUFON here in Michigan. She is a psychic medium. She's a channeler. She does automatic writing. She does what else?
Oh, she is the host of.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
It's all important. The Voices of Contact that airs every Friday night.
That we are blessed to be a part of.
Yes. We do a lot of work together, and Mary's an amazing person, a great friend, as well as a wonderful medium, regressionist, and all of that. So tonight, we wanted to bring Mary in with us because she is a big part of the Michigan UFO Contact that we have every September. And we're super excited. It's coming up as soon as September hits. It's like, nah. We get really happy. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy happy.
Lots of work, but happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mary, we're thrilled not only to have you here tonight, but have you at Michigan UFO Contact too. You're such a big part of it the last, 3 years, I think?
Yeah. 3 years.
Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah, you said
Seems
Michigan Contact
longer.
2, but actually it's number 8.
Yeah. Number 8. Yeah, would be number 9. Something like that. I don't know. We lose track, but yeah. Your regressions during the event itself are always done live, right there with the whole audience. How difficult is that to do? I've always wondered.
The first year, that was a little tricky for me just because of nerves. The first time I did it. But really, if even when last year we just picked somebody from the crowd, as long as I get a chance to have a half hour to do an interview and to get an idea, it really isn't hard. It's almost sort of like doing a reading in a sense when you start giving a person a reading and everything else tunes out, So it's more of just going with the flow and keeping your fingers crossed that you don't have a stubborn person that doesn't see anything.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like it would be harder to really regress somebody or, put them under self-hypnosis when there's so many people around. But, I mean, did you find that was difficult to do? Or the person was difficult?
As of yet, I have not had a single issue. And I think more so it's because, in the very first parts of the regression, it's putting in there the suggestions that if they hear any kind of noises, they're just going to fade away. Because really, just like in meditation, once you get going, there is a certain point where it doesn't even really matter what's around you because you're just in that zone. So as to yet, no, not. Is that how we're going to do it this year too? Or are we going to pick somebody from the crowd?
Well, I thought it might be fun, and this totally allows spirit or other beings to pick it. If we did like a drawing, whoever is really interested and feels that they can be regressed.
Yeah.
We'll have a little something to put names in. They can put their info on, their contact info and their name. And then you could draw a name. And I don't know if it would be better to do that Friday because the regression will be Saturday.
Friday because it gives me a chance to get to know the person.
Right. And it gives them some time to, okay, I'm going to do this. because, I can imagine it would be a little bit nerve-wracking to be regressed
Oh,
right
yes.
in front of everybody. So
Uh-huh.
we will do a drawing Friday night, like probably at the VIP.
All right.
It doesn't have to be a VIP person that puts names in, because they can do that ahead of time.
Right.
But during the VIP meet and greet, we will draw that name.
And so we have a guy on here called Max who's talking about meeting real psychic mediums. I'm with 2 right now, Max. It brought up the question that when you are doing regressions, do you ever find that you are getting stuff that before they say it?
Sometimes, yes, and it's been vice versa too. I've had things where I had thought questions, and
Yeah,
before I could say them, they've been answered,
they're answering
especially
them.
when
Yeah.
we've tapped into the higher self. But
Right.
yeah, that definitely does go back and forth.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, being a medium and doing regression work can be tricky. I mean, Arjay remembers a time, I'm sure, it was one of our first events together. I was doing a past life regression for a whole group, and I literally was so out of body and literally seeing other people's past lives, that it was hard for me to not say what I was seeing, So, yeah, that can be a little tricky.
Well, and for me, at first, it was hard to think of questions to ask. Because when I was doing the regression, I would already kind of know what was going to
Right.
happen and where it was going to go, and so I wouldn't ask good, like interesting questions, because I already knew. So I had to really work hard at
Concentrating.
being
Yeah.
curious in the here now versus up there in the head, just knowing what was going to go on.
Right. Right. For sure. Well, I have to put this up real quick. Lee is saying, draw Dana's name.
Lee, that's a great idea.
It is a great idea, but first, Dana, we'd have to get Dana to put her name in the bucket.
We're gonna rig it. We're gonna take it out and put all Dana's names in there. Like 100.
There you go.
Even say that. But that
I
would
could
be
dress
cool.
in like a mantis costume.
Yeah.
There you go. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you will pick a name Friday night, and then I don't have the schedule in front of me. It's very tentative right now anyways, as always, 3 weeks ahead of time. But sometime Saturday afternoon will be the regression.
All right.
And then, yeah. So, and everybody loves that. I just, when we first talked about that, doing the regressions there live, I thought, oh, I don't think this is going to work. But it's been very, very successful. And I think one of the best things is people see that it's not so scary.
Yes. Yep. That is very true. It's just a glorified guided meditation.
Right.
It's not as intense as people think it is. They don't end up quacking like a duck.
Right.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
right. Well, I don't do the same type of work that you do, but I always tell people what I do, you go deeper. It's actually like a self-hypnosis. And the person also has control. So someone like me who, I've always been afraid to do regression because I don't like to not have total control of myself. I've learned a lot by seeing you do them in the way that you do them, because, our styles are a little different. So
okay.
It's very cool. Oh, hi from Ireland.
What's going on?
Can't. Arjay's trying to read some of the chat. I can't really see it. So, Hello, Ireland.
Yes.
Thank you
Wow.
for being here with us. Awesome.
TETs, if you know my relatives or my ancestry is from Donegal, the O'Dohertys and the McLaughlins and the Walkers.
Common names in
Yeah.
Ireland.
Glad to have you aboard. Thank you.
Yeah, and I also have roots in Ireland. Yeah, so we definitely welcome you. So, Mary, I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your very favorite part of the Michigan UFO Contact? See, I told you it's going to put her on the spot.
I know what she's going to say because I'm psychic.
I don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint because each year has something that's always stood out. I can say the cliche thing about seeing everybody, but that's just like the given. It's that excitement, right? It's the excitement of looking forward to something, of having something to do, of being able to connect with people who think like you. It's just knowing like that sometimes just being in other people's presence and holding a space for them to feel comfortable helps them. I think just everything in general, the lake at night, like last year when the sun was coming out and the clouds were really thin and that moon popped up and it looked like an egg and it was shimmering on the lake. That's beautiful. And then the music, and then the early mornings when you can hear the birds and the waters just lapping. I don't know. There's just a lot of things to pick. The tiny little bar, it's quaint. The fact you can go sit anywhere and just hang out. If you don't want to be around a group, you can go sit by yourself and watch everybody. Like it's an awesome place with just good energy and good people, good food, good drinks. That's always a bonus. Yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to say just everything. So that's about almost.
Well, everything's a
Yeah.
cliche statement. But yeah. It's like those little things, those little detailed things that you always remember, right? It's sort of like if you went to camp when you were a little kid, as an adult, you're always going to remember what the pancakes look like. It's the little things, those little things that make you remember. So
that is true. That is true. And I guess it would be hard to pick. Definitely. So anybody that doesn't know, we are talking about the Michigan UFO Contact, and that's held every September. This year, it's the last weekend in September. Normally, it's the third weekend.
Right.
So it's there we go, the 26th and 27th. You can see all of our speakers there. We will be talking about them. And of course, Mary is up there. It's at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center in Houghton Lake. If anybody wants information, you can go, the website's there. I don't know if you can see it, www.MI.UFO.com.
And we also bring in some cryptid people, Bigfoot people.
Yes, I'm so excited this year that, our lineup is phenomenal. And, we have, do you want to show this? Don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a little hint. Every year we do different shirts. This was from 22 and I love this one. Don England actually designs our shirts. Every year he does them, and he's an amazing artist. So this year is something totally different, but we thought it was appropriate, and we'll tell you why in a minute. So I'm going to hold this up and see if you can see. That gives you a hint on what the shirts will be this year.
Yeah, I can't wait. That'll be my favorite one. Sure. Already.
Yeah. But on top of having a brand new person with us who has been in ufology for years and years, worked with Bud Hopkins, is totally an amazing, amazing person, Peter Robbins. He's coming for the very first time. I'm super excited about that because I've always just really, he's someone that I really respect in the field. And, we've not met him.
No,
So,
we've talked to him, and we had him on a radio show, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
He was on Voices of Contact
right,
with us.
exactly.
Yeah. So, but we also have the She Squatchers, they're so badass, and I just love them. It's all women. They do work a lot with another speaker that we're bringing in, Jason Kenzie. But these three women go out and they do all kinds of squatching on their own and with others. And they're, they're very knowledgeable, very serious about what they do.
Aren't they in Europe right now doing some squatching?
They are.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they left Europe. They are now in Poland.
Poland, okay.
Yeah. So we're really excited to have them, and also Jason Kenzie, who is more, and they all have UFO sightings. That's the cool thing. But Jason does a lot of filming, makes documentaries and things like that. So he's a hoot.
Yeah.
He is a hoot. Everybody's gonna love him.
And so are the Sea Squatchers. They're a hoot too. If you ever seen their show, they've got a podcast out. It's the introduction is great.
Yeah, they're great. Did you meet them last year, Mary?
I don't think I did. Or if I did, I don't remember the names.
Okay. Yeah, they came last year just for a day. They were on their way through to do another event and got a hold of me and said, "Hey, can we show up at the UFO Contact?" Well, heck yes, I'm dying to meet you guys. So, we got to meet and hang out a little bit, and they're just...
And they didn't hang around long before they went out and checked out this place west of here, the Earth Rings.
Yeah. Yes.
And they were checking that
Fairy
out.
Rings.
Fairy Rings, yeah.
With our dear friend who
passed away,
Rob Daly. Yeah, we'll probably have a few moments at the conference for Rob.
Yeah.
Because it was something he truly loved, and we all truly loved him. So
Mary, if people want to get a regression, how do they get a hold of you?
They can reach me through Facebook, or they can reach me through email at mamaMaryRegressions@hotmail.com.
Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. So another thing that Mary and I are going to be doing on top of, everything else that's going on, it's going to be a really, really packed weekend filled with just all kinds of amazing stuff. But we decided, while we have this opportunity, let's do a DNA activation for people. So we have that going as well. And it's something that has to be signed up for. We already have quite a few people. So, people can get a hold of us.
Kind of explain what that is.
Yeah. You want to talk about that a little bit, Mary?
Well, DNA activation is all about activating the extra chakras that are in our energetic system. So it's moving from like the 7 chakra system to the 12 chakra system. So it's like going from like 3D, 4D, 5D up to 7D. It's raising the vibration. And so what happens to the DNA activation is we move through each chakra, and you consider the chakras as portals, right? So each chakra is a portal that connects us to another piece of our soul that's on a parallel universe or dimension. So through this DNA activation, we draw all these pieces of our souls that are other dimensions back into our energetic system and integrate it. Because if you think about it, what happens when we go through trauma and pain, we lose little pieces of ourselves and they just kind of float off. So that DNA activation, that draws all that energy back and integrates it. Like after mine, all I know is like I feel like I did when I was 14 years old, like that little girl that was happy and excited,
right?
But with wisdom and no pain. Like it's like living in a timeline where I didn't experience any kind of trauma at all. I just feel good and happy and full of joy.
Mhm.
So it is a really something for people who are looking to feel better and, walk fully as who they're meant to be.
Right. To remember who they are on a soul level.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this vessel is very temporary. The soul is
That's
who
right.
we really are, right? So yeah, I had a lot of the same experiences coming into this where you're just so joyful and things can bounce off me easier now. I can walk away.
Yeah.
And knowing that there's just something so beautiful about knowing this soul has been here for so long, and everything leading up to this point in my life has brought me to where I'm at. And some of the hard lessons that I went through were for right now. So I can embrace those in a totally different way than I used to, if that makes any sense at all. So,
it does.
Yeah.
Another speaker has joined us on the chat here, Miss Dana Stricker. Dana, I asked her the same question. Was she on a jet? And no, she's flying here right now in her private jet. So, but it looks like that.
It's my pillow.
Right, but the lights in the back on your other side there look like round jet holes, So.
Yeah, she truly is not. I even get to see,
And Dana is one of our co-workers that works on the Voices of Contact with us.
And she
so
will also go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
She is also a speaker this year,
right?
At Michigan UFO Contact, and I'm really excited because Dana she's a teaser. She's really a teaser. So what's your talk on, Dana? I don't know.
You'll see.
You'll see. So we have no idea. And, sometimes that's okay.
And she lives across the pond from us in Wisconsin.
Yeah. But I know that she's a lot like us, Mary, and she does that whole spirit thing. And spirit will guide her, and whatever is supposed to come out is coming out. So, we're excited about it.
And maybe her friends, the Mantis, will help her too.
Yeah.
They make a surprise appearance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we have another panel member from the Voices of Contact who will be a speaker as well. And that's Deb Cobble.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's another amazing one. And I'm excited for her talk this year because, she's talked on her book before. And it's, she always gives a great talk. This woman is so knowledgeable and a true experiencer. She's one that went through Bud Hopkins, did lots of regressions, had a lot of physical evidence.
And she's been on a lot of shows lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. And she's the one that Bud Hopkins wrote his books on.
Intruders, yeah. And then she's got her own books too.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was going to be flying out to doing a Gaia episode here in a couple of weeks or a week. So
yeah. And she, so this year she'll talk a little bit on the book and her experiences, but also her personal life, what this all led to. And it's pretty incredible. We talk a lot, and I know a few things about her. So I'm excited for, her story to get out there.
And she's got a good story.
Yeah,
she really does. And, that's kind of the beauty of this event. And I'm not patting ourselves on the back, but it kind of worked out. We didn't plan it. They planned it. But it has worked out that it truly is an event that is by experiencers, put on by experiencers for experiencers. And it just, when people get the understanding that, okay, maybe I'm not so crazy, it makes all the difference in the world. They can then, move forward in their lives, right?
Yeah, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
a little,
being able to have that safe space.
right. And a little spoiler alert: we're going to be our 100th show is coming up tomorrow, right?
Oh,
Tomorrow night.
Yes,
that's
100th show.
right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's all
can
ready to
find-
go. We did something
it's going to
special.
be a little different. All I can tell you, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be a lot different than what normally we do.
The panelists were even surprised.
Yeah, we were
Right?
surprised too. Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow night
It's
at
more
8
fun
o'clock.
that way.
Yeah. We air on Mystical Awakenings podcast with a V on YouTube and lots of other places that Mary knows, but Deb doesn't. But it will be on at
8 o'clock.
So tune in.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Same time. No, it's 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Eastern time, yeah.
Instead of 7 o'clock when we do this show. Yeah.
So on the podcast, the V visitor, yeah.
Yeah. So, we've had a lot of talks with so many people who have attended. Dana's one of them. The event and had crazy, weird things happen. It seems like every year people have wild experiences. So have you had any of that, Mary, or witnessed any of that, or felt very interdimensional there?
The biggest thing I always notice is that elevator. The elevator that you take up to the other floors, every time it's like you're stepping into a different dimension because it just makes you feel dizzy. It's weird. And I always end up just having weird dreams while I'm there.
Yeah.
And of course, always when we do the Sky Watch and we call in, ET, that's always fun and interesting. But that's the biggest thing is that elevator for me every single time. Yeah.
You're not the only one that says that.
And I've talked about this before, but we got two major ley lines that come through here, and I believe the one goes right through the hotel. So,
right. And the other one almost goes up the main drag. So it's almost like you have a crossing right near there of ley lines. Plus being on the largest inland lake in Michigan, what does that do?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
That's a conduit for everything going on.
And Dana says she's had the elevator experience too. I believe Andrea Perrin does it too. Yeah.
Poor Andrea. Now she does all of our events there. Well, many of our events there, and she has spent a lot of time in that hotel. But she gets frustrated because she gets off the elevator and says, "Where in the hell am I? I don't know where I'm at." Because she just, but honestly, I feel it's like an interdimensional thing. It's a portal and you can easily just travel through dimensions, and it's very difficult to stay in the third dimension. Is it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they're all like-minded people there. Most of them are vibrating a little different frequency there because the topics and what we're there for. So
Yeah.
It's wild. Do you think that has any effect on regression work? Or does it make it better?
I would think it would make it better. Supercharged energy. Yeah, definitely. And I think it amps up the energy enough so that it allows the right energy. So for me to connect with whoever I'm supposed to regress with their energy, like in a psychic way, right? So, just like how we get brought together for certain things spiritually, I feel like, that hotel does the same thing. It kind of gathers people. So like when it comes to the regression work, I'm always going to end up exactly with the right person because I think energetically it ensures it. That makes sense. I think the energy of the place just ensures a high frequency time, a good galactic time. Yeah.
Right.
Now we have we set aside an hour or two where people can get up and tell their stories too. And I think that energy encourages people to get up and talk about that because we had a gentleman we always talk about this. He was 70 years old and he never got to talk to anybody about his experience. He was in tears, but he got up and and finally, after 70 years, got to explain what happened to him. So, or, during his 70-year life.
Yeah. I think we were all in tears over that one.
Yeah.
That was quite moving. And, you have to feel bad because so many people out there have had experiences,
Yeah.
missing time or sightings or contact, abductions, and couldn't talk about it. It really, it's something that I can tell you that for myself, even though my experiences have not been horrible, they're very traumatic for me. Dealing with it emotionally can be very traumatic. So that on top of, I can't tell anybody because they'll think I'm crazy. And then keeping that in can really add some mental illness. And that's what we're trying to help with, making this more normal. Because honestly, it's the statistics are so high. People that have some sort of experience.
And we're pretty blessed to have the people that Mary Regressionist agree to play their recording back. And what we have found as a panel, a group, we're experiencing too, that here these people don't even know each other, but they're having similar experiences. And similar things are happening. So that kind of gives it a credibility to me that this thing's real.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's the data's right there. So,
yeah, when somebody listens to the voices of contact and they're hearing somebody being regressed and they can relate with what is being said, that has to do a lot for their, it's validation for them. Maybe I'm not that crazy.
But yeah, I mean, Max, I agree that these people that we've had experiences are here to really bring disclosure, and so, and that's why this is so cool to show, because it, you're hearing it right from the person's mouth, and they're right as it's regressed.
Right.
And some of the details are amazing. And the emotion, they're very emotional. So, and the people that get regressed, Mary, right? They're hearing this for the first time too. When they hear the recording back.
Yep. Well, it's beneficial too, because they get a different take on the experience, right? Because everybody comes from a different perspective on, what they're feeling emotionally from what they're listening to. So to have that many different opinions to give a well-rounded perspective and some feedback and, other stories from the panel that can connect and be related to that experience. It's beneficial for everybody, especially when it lets people know that they're not alone and it's not that weird. It's not that crazy. There's been a lot of crazier things out there than thinking that we're not alone in the universe.
Right.
That's kind of a silly concept to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to point out what Matrix Break said. Finally hearing a similar story might have saved my life. And I've heard this from so many. Bless you for saying that. And, we know she's been through an awful lot.
Yes.
But coming together, finding other people that have had these experiences can definitely save lives. I mean, I'm sure we lost many because it just couldn't deal with it. So,
yeah, it's some of them are traumatic, very traumatic. Some have claimed that they haven't been, physically hasn't been good, but there's also a lot of the people have been regressed that have some really beautiful experiences, and very beautiful messages to
Mm-hmm.
convey to everybody else that they were told. So, but for me, we're just part of this big thing, that's going on, and this is
Right.
it's so common in the universe. Here it doesn't seem like it's common, but this goes on everywhere, and we will be doing this too once we get out there. And so it's just part of life, and it's all about genetics. It's all about creating life and finding new life and experimenting with life, and uh, that's the final end game.
Right. And I think Mary would agree with me, and it's also very spiritual.
Yeah.
Because it is, because it is. Right.
That's right. Well, it's all about the ascension and realizing that we're all connected and why we're all really here.
Mhm.
We're all consciousness, whether it's extraterrestrial or we're from planet Earth. So it's just remembering who we are and getting back to the beginning before, everything got distorted. And that's why we have this, the thing we call ascension, and you have the positive extraterrestrials and you have the negative ones. That's your good versus evil right there. And you have the positive ones trying to lift us up and help us get back to remembering who we are. And we're getting close. And so that's
We
why
are.
you see chaos around you. And that's why
Mhm.
UFO Con's so important, because things like that raise the frequency and the vibration. And we raise that enough. If we can raise enough frequency, we can open up enough and shift that energy so that we shift into that timeline without the chaos. That's why these events are so important, because we can do it, with a large groups of people versus just one person at a time.
Right. Mhm.
People feel seen, making them feel
Exactly.
heard, not alone, holding space for them, giving them a
Right.
space. We need more places like that.
Yeah.
And I no,
We need
there's no
more
other
things like UFO Con.
right, but there's no better way to trigger this and to be the catalyst for this ascension than to all of us understand that we are just a part of a greater,
Mhm.
uh, multiverse of life
Right.
and intelligence and spiritual beings and interdimensional beings. Once we realize that, then we have no choice but to ascend, to ascend up to where that is. To want to know about that.
So the cool thing about that is we all know that. Every human knows that. They just forgot it.
I
And
know.
now it's time. Now they're
Yeah.
giving us tools so we can remember
That's right.
that we've always been connected.
And the story's not all that pretty, Mary and Deb, because the story is we have been tampered with to forget this, and now we're reawakening, and this is the way to do it, and that's why we're all involved in this to awaken and everybody be awakened.
Right.
There's some people out there that don't want this to, but it's going to happen.
Exactly. I just want to say to Max real quick, our heart's with you. We're here. I'll put that up real good or real quick. He's never been regressed, but always scared to. Yeah, weird dreams, scratches, nosebleeds, and some of that is stuff that we hear very often. So just know you're not alone. You're not crazy.
Yeah, and I want you to know that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad experience, your nosebleeds and stuff like that. I mean, were you experiencing it on? Yes, but everybody, a lot of people have experienced this, and the real reasons behind it we don't really know. Could have been removing implants, could have been putting one in, could have been anything, but or maybe you had an atmosphere change when you were somewhere else, and if people in high altitudes get nosebleeds, people get on planes get nosebleeds and stuff like that. So you might have been in a different kind of a frequency and condition, and coming back, that's part of the process. What happens? So it's not freaky, I mean,
right.
But I'm not saying that you didn't have a bad experience. I'm not saying you'd had a good experience, but it's just it's so common that people are doing this. You're not alone. Trust me.
Yeah. Not alone. And that's, that's why we do the UFO Contact. That's why we do the Voices of Contact. We want people to realize, we were made to think that we're crazy for thinking things like this happened to us, that we were making it up. We couldn't talk about it because nobody believed us. Now we're learning it's really more
The
norm than not. If you really take time to look at the skies, you'll understand that we're not alone. We never have been. So, just saying. Yeah. This is more common than not.
So, Mary, when did you decide to get into all this, the regression part? When was it you decided to do this, and why?
I started back in 2021, and I started reading Dolores Cannon books, and thought it was really interesting, especially the ones that centered around the regression work that was around, the extraterrestrial. And then I started checking out the classes. The classes were way too expensive. But then everybody kept on asking me, do you do regression work? If you ever decide that you do, let me know, because I want to get it done. And then it's just over and over again. And I was like, hey guys, if you guys want me to do this, you're going to have to figure out how to get me some money, because that's too expensive. And then at the end of November, I went to a 2-day event and I came home with over $2,000. So I paid for the class.
There you go.
Then
they're saying, okay, you have the money, get busy.
From there. Yep. Just took off from there. So.
Well, and it was almost immediate that Bill Konklowski, the state director of MUFON, who is very involved in Michigan UFO Contact as well, saw something in you and went, we need to get her involved. So you became a regressionist for MUFON, not long after you got certified for it.
Nope. Yes. Very, very quickly.
And almost instantly after that, you had the download that you needed to start the Voices of Contact, and contacted us and a few other people. And so it's like everything that the universe wanted you to do, you just did it. So kudos to you.
Okay. Well, it's just, I feel like it's just lining up for us, right? All we have to do is sit back and see which direction it goes and allow it. If we do that, the universe takes care of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just allow it to flow. Yeah.
And the last 10 years, our true history has been coming out and unfolding. You got to take it with a grain of salt, but how did the Homo sapien get here, and how what happened to the Cro-Magnon man, the Neanderthal man, and are we genetically made? Well, yes, we are. And by who? We're trying to find this out. This is what the DNA activation is. We are a part of the star systems out here ourselves, because the soul is eternal. Our consciousness is eternal. You cannot get rid of energy. And so we're just trying to gather all this and why we're here. And we're here to get that information out there and to raise the vibrations. And that's what I know you and I and Deb and Dana and Deb, the other Deb, that's what we're trying to do. And our friend Michael Carter. So we're, and we're Mark, and also Mark, but we're trying to do this. We're trying to get this vibration out and get the truth out and get who we are, so we can move on. We can ascend in.
Yeah. And speaking of Mark Herzog, who has kind of come into channeling and all kinds of things from his experiences, and I think it has really, matrix breaks that I think this saved my life, hearing the stories. And honestly, I kind of feel like it did with Mark as well, because we've seen him blossom just big time. And he will be there. He will have a table selling his artwork and talking to people, and who knows what he might do. We have some great vendors. If you go to the website, you'll see all the vendors listed. I was a little bit tickled a few nights ago because I got a message from Dr. Raymond Keller, who has been in ufology for years and years and years, written, many books. I don't know a lot about him, but he will be there. And I knew instantly when he contacted me, okay, there's a reason that he needs to be there this year. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason. So they call him Cosmic Ray. He will be there vending as well and meeting people and all of that. So, our vendors, that's the cool thing, is many of our vendors are also experiencers or have a foot somewhere in this field. So there's no separation whatsoever at this event.
Now, if you're new to this and you want to come, the hotel sells out usually in February when we actually start announcing the show. But there's a hotel like less than a quarter mile away, just around the corner, that will pick up people and give them discounts to the event. They can find that information on what?
Well, that hotel is American Inn and Suites. That information is also on our website.
Right.
We do have a Facebook page as well. Just type, if you're a Facebook person, type in Michigan UFO Contact. And you can find all of our stuff there. Tickets are at Ticket Leap. Same thing, Michigan UFO Contact. And you'll find that. Our information is kind of everywhere.
And Cheryl Carter is going to be there.
Cheryl Carter is speaking this year. She is a Michigan girl who we love. And she was with us, I believe, 3 years ago. She's been so busy writing books and spending time out at Skinwalker Ranch and doing all of this phenomenal stuff. But she will be there again this year. Of course, Andrea Perrin will be there. She's been dealing with cancer. She's been with us every single year. Last year, she had to video in because her cancer was brand new. She is still doing chemo, but is insisting that she be there.
Yep.
So she will be there speaking this year.
And she's the oldest daughter, who was at the Real Conjuring House. Yep. But she is very connected to the UFOs and her galactic family, and that's the biggest part of her life, actually.
Well, yeah. Her first experience, and I don't know if you've talked to her about it, Mary, you probably heard it, that her first sighting and UFO experience was while she lived in the Conjuring House
in Rhode
Island.
Yep.
So it goes back a long ways because she was a little girl. So that's pretty much our lineup, other than Bill Konkleski, who we did talk about. But he will also be speaking and on the panel. And every year, Saturday morning, he does a MUFON field investigator training type thing. And it's giving information. You can sign up for MUFON or whatever, but it's always so interesting to listen to. And that is open to anybody who has a ticket. You don't have to be a MUFON member.
No, unfortunately, our good friend, Reverend Michael Carter from Ancient Aliens, couldn't make it this year, but he will be there next year. I'm sure of it. If not, I'll have to drive down and pick him up and bring him up here. So,
right.
We'll have to kidnap him.
We'll
have to blindfold him and make him come.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So we got a good lineup this year. It's going to be cool. We let them decide what's going to happen, right? And and that it happens, and it turns out good, because you think we'd be pros at this now, but it's just, we don't try to control it. It happens, and we come up with a basic idea.
God, treat it like life. All you can do is wing it. Just go with it.
Right.
That's true. Yeah, the only thing, we have to get everything ready for it, fly the people in, all that kind of stuff. But, making sure that we have time for the experiencer panel every year on Friday. That's so important to me. So that is something we do. And on that panel will be Peter Robbins, Deborah Cobble, Andrea Perrin, Bill Konklowski, and Nicole is not there speaking this year, but she will be on the experiencer panel. She spoke last year and she really connected with many of the experiencers, and she has a real story to tell. So, I think that people just could use her on that panel. So she's kind enough to say, yes, she will be there. And we're down to like 3 minutes. So is there anything, Mary, that you want to add about people contacting you, where to find you? Oh, we should probably talk about the possibility of a tent.
Yes. Well, yeah, because we're thinking about me bringing and setting my tent up on one of the balconies. It'll be easier if we do that for regression work. Then everybody can find me and I'm not running back and forth. But I would suggest to people, like a lot of times by Friday morning, everybody's already pre-booked their times. So if you want a reading or you want a regression, I would have your times into me by Wednesday or Thursday so I can have a whole list and be able to know when I'm going to do what. That way everybody has their spot. Because I always feel bad because I just don't have time. It's almost to the point where I almost thought maybe I should do them on Thursdays too, because everybody wants one.
If you're there, feel free.
Yep. Tell them to put their name on the list and come in. That way they'll have something reserved. So
absolutely. Yeah, and we are taking signups for people for the DNA activation. That will be done Saturday afternoon.
All right. So listen, we've run out of time.
Yes.
We will love to talk to you all night as usual. Thank you for being on here. We looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks here.
Yay!
And thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. And
get your tickets. Go to MI.UFO.com.
And until then,
have a fantastic week. And until we see you again, which will be 2 weeks, may all of your awakenings be mystical. We love you.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.